Yo, I don't know what's going on with this connection, y'all, but we are not gonna be defeated. They're trying to stop us from being here, but we're not gonna be defeated. One more time, we're gonna try this one last time, man, because I don't know what the heck going on. But Mr. Styles, we bringing Mr. Styles back in. We're bringing DJ Mizzy back in, and we're bringing, you know what I'm saying, everybody back in. Let's get it. All right, y'all. I shine, man. I don't know what the hell going on with him, man. Mr.
Hey,
Styles,
my style's in the hood.
brother, we appreciate
Hood
it. So,
is
matter of
here.
fact, we're gonna
Yeah.
run that back because again, they trying to stop our shine. Mike, once again, bro, fill us in how you got started, my boy. We just gonna kick it from there. How'd you get started, and where did it all start?
I feel you. So for me, like I was saying before, was listening to a lot of rock music when I was in middle school, and I thought I could write lyrics. And for me, it was a lot of venting and a lot of it being able to express myself through journaling. Basically, what it was. Honestly, it was trash. Like looking back on it, but Eminem was the one who got me interested in hip hop, and I realized I could express myself more in writing in the style of hip hop, and been
Okay,
working on
okay,
that
that's what's
craft
up.
ever
That's what's
since.
up. So, real quick, what is it about your music that stands out that has people so engaged and so in tune with your music?
I'd say for me, the biggest thing that I want people to be able to get away from my music
Okay,
is that that God really cares about them, and I want to do so in a way that is lyrical and want to do so in a way that's
okay,
actually within the
okay.
confines of hip
Now,
hop.
has hip hop always been, something that you always grew up listening to, or is that something that you just recently got into?
Probably I'd say around high school. So not for, I guess it's been about, dang, I'm
Okay,
looking now.
okay.
It's been
That's
about
what's
like
up. That's
15
what's up.
years.
Mr. Styles, what you got for him, my guy?
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on as well, man. Uh, what do you go by, Mike, or what do you go by?
Yeah, I go by my name. I'm the same person on stage as I am off
And you say
stage.
you're a pastor, right?
Yeah.
Pastor Mike. Let me go wrong with that. For a few minutes, Pastor Mike. Hey, check this out, Pastor Mike. When I got off of work today, I listened to your album twice. Amazed. I listened because I wanted to get a feel. I had no idea what I was going to hear, brother. And Christian rap, man. I wrote some things down, man. But Brock, hats off to you, bro. Hats off to you for having the courage to even be out here doing it. And I'll tell you one thing that I made sure that I jotted down in my head was that I don't sense fake from you. Like
Mm.
fake. Sometimes you can hear a person Christian rapping, and then in that Christian rap, you can tell they gangsters in the background, but they doing it for whatever reason like that. I sense a genuine. I'm not saying you may not cuss or something like that, but I sense a genuine love for God coming from you through your lyrics, and I respect that, brother.
I appreciate that, man. Definitely. I strive to be as genuine as it can be because ain't people don't
Most
got time for
definitely, most
fakeness. So
definitely. Now, talk to us a little bit about your growing up, man. Like, what was it growing up as a kid and going through childhood and things of that nature? Like, what was that experience like for you?
yeah, for me, I'm originally from Jersey, so I grew up a majority of my life in New Jersey and Northwest Jersey. Um, just I enjoyed sports. I wasn't really much of a musician or artist. I was more into baseball and football and stuff like that. My folks got divorced, and so me, my dad, and my brother ended up moving to North Carolina, which is where I'm at. And then graduated high school up in the Raleigh area, and then ended up going to school down at a college called UNC Pembroke, which is by Lumberton and Fayetteville. Um, and I ended
Okay,
up sticking
okay.
around Pembroke.
About you when you discovered that you was gonna be doing music, new road that you traveled. Like, what were some of the things or some of the steps that you had to take in order to truly establish yourself in this industry?
I feel like I'd say I'm still trying to establish myself. Like it's a long road, it's a journey. But I'd say like for me, Like I was listening to a lot more hip hop, and I stumbled upon Christian rap, which is what got me interested in reading the Bible on my own. And to make a long story short, God showed me my sin and my need for Jesus, gave my life to Jesus, and I just wanted to be able to share that same love to people that I got shared with. And been just grinding with it. I put out a mixtape back in 2016. I feel like I've done better since then. And over the last about couple of years, I've been pushing it a lot more, pushing music onto like streaming platforms and stuff like that, trying to be more serious about putting my music
now,
out there.
Now, real quick, do you ever, you putting out this music, do you ever critique, like go back and be like, okay, you know, let me take that, let me take this, let me put this in here. Like, how do you go about, you know, making sure that you're putting out the best product possible?
I think like I'm super critical of myself. Like I'm always overthinking things, whether that's a good or bad thing. Whether it's while I'm writing lyrics. I know I picked up one thing from just a book I was reading, and Tech Nine had made a comment in the book saying that he wrote how he would perform. And so writing how I would want to perform it, like being aware of my breath control and stuff like that, just because it might sound cool, might not work out practically live. And I want it to work out live. So I want to be super critical about my rhyme scheme and different things like that. So while I'm writing, I'm critical. Whenever I'm in the booth recording, if it doesn't sound quite right, I want to redo it. I want to do a retake. I'm not a big fan of punch-in, but if a punch-in could work, then okay. But I'd rather redo it all and like have the feeling of the whole verse in there.
I feel that. Mr. Styles, what you got for him?
So, you know, I don't know if you've done these before, podcasts or versions of these before, but I'm my Styles in the Hood. I like to mix it up. So right now you're telling us the musical side in the background. I ask questions because I want to know, when I listen to your music, like I said, this is the kind of guy I could probably hang with like that. So I ask questions, you know, from like if we were all chilling in the same room. So I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to give you a compliment, and then I'm going to ask you a question because the album, again, I like the variety of beats. I think this was a 21 album, and it then kind of went into other things, you know, because I played it twice. I like the variety of beats that were on there. It didn't get boring. The album didn't get boring at all, based on what I heard. The beats did their part. Man, your features, your lyrics. I mean, you kept my attention. Now, I'm not sure if you'll keep everybody's attention. I think it's a market for your music. But you definitely kept my attention, and for me, my first time hearing it, where I wasn't like, let me hear a couple of songs just so I can see if I learn about them before I chop it up with them. But I literally was listening to and going back and played a couple of songs a couple of times there. So I just wanted to put that out there for you. Great choice on the beats, and whoever produced the album did a good job on the mastering as well. So I want to put that out there for you, brother. Now, I want to know. Simple question. When you go out to a restaurant, do you tip by the customer service or by the percentage of the total of the bill?
I usually do percentage because, like, regardless of how the server is doing, I feel like it's just right to give them a tip because they're
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, you might be tempted to not want a tip, but like I feel convicted of like, man, they put in the work to give me the food even though it didn't pan out the right way. They did some work, so they deserve some money.
You know what? I'll tell you, one time I did this at Olive Garden. Like I took a bunch of dollars with me and I like laid them out at the top of the table, but they were not really doing good. When I put that money, when I tell you, that waiter was back and forth. And every time they not did something, I would take some money away. So they saw the money coming and going. They wound up getting a pretty good tip that night because they stepped their customer service up. But I feel you on that, man. You know, it's a system was put in place and basically it's easier to follow the rules and to put a lot of thought into whether they did bad or not. Just going to do it. I feel you on that, brother.
And I've also been a waiter before, so I know what it's like.
Most definitely. Real quick, talk to us about your versatility. And what I mean by versatility, you know, going from hip hop and rapping to a pastor. Like, talk us about that rest and what that transition was like for you.
Oh man, like it was kind of funny. Like when I was in college, people would joke around and say Pastor P to me, and I'd be like, "No, shut up," and stuff like that. But as time would go on, once I graduated college, I did an internship with a church I'm a part of right now. And that, long story short, that led to becoming ordained and becoming a pastor over here. And my main role is overseeing the college ministry and helping college students out.
Now in this time period that you know, not only like I said earlier, not only have you been establishing yourself and putting out your product, but what is it about not only your music and, you know, pastor, you know, and all that combined? What are the people gaining once you're putting out these songs, these projects, and you know you're passing on the side? Like, how are the people interacting with you on that level?
I think they've been reacting pretty well, just recognizing like I strive to be the same person in the music on stage like I am off stage. And so I think people get the vibe that I try to be genuine and I want to actually care for people. And so whether it's with my music or pastoring or just hanging out or ministering with people, like my genuine care is I want to love people. I want to be there for people. Understanding I can't meet everybody's needs, but however I can help, I want to help.
For you, you know, so, and I'm sure you're familiar with this. You know, we've had so many different secular artists that have transitioned over into the gospel realm and the gospel world. You know, whether that be rapping or what have you. You know, do you feel like that there's more of that to come, or do you feel like it's one of those things that's a personal choice? Do you feel like?
I think it's more of a personal choice because I don't think there's like a script or anything saying, hey, go this route. Because if you don't, whether you're going from Christian to secular or secular to Christian, you kind of are changing your audience a little bit. Like I've heard people talk about, I don't know if you've heard of Lecrae before, but I've heard people say like, oh, Lecrae's selling out and like he's trying to be more mainstream and go into a secular audience and try and make more money. When in reality, it's like he's trying to build a whole new audience.
Yeah.
And that takes work. And so it really just depends on the demographic that you're trying to reach. But I like with your original question, I think it's just personal, like based on people.
Styles. Talk to him.
Hey, well, hey, all right. Got a couple of questions for you, but before I say what I want to say, I want to say that I noticed you said that Eminem was one of your inspirations, one of mine as well. You know, very, very creative writer there. And I know you have your own style. Now, it's nothing like Eminem's style. You know, it's nothing like Eminem's style, but it's its own style there. So when I listen to it, I'm like, I can see you in church and rapping and people not just like, oh, here's another Christian rapper. You know, you do make sense in what you're saying. You're not just saying the basic Christian religion rapper words that you will hear people say to basically say they're a gospel or Christian rapper, you know. So I really appreciated that about you there. So like, let me ask you, like when it comes, like when you wake up in the morning, are you one of those, oh man, hard to get out of bed, or are you one of those ready to get out of bed and get the day started type of people?
Man, I am not a morning person whatsoever. I'm like, why am I up? I want more sleep. I have to kick myself out of bed.
Okay, so you kind of drag in the mornings. Okay.
I'm more of a night owl for real.
Okay. Hey, that's what's up, man. Me too. I'm a little bit of a no. I'm gonna tell you, when I wake up, I'm like, bam. Like I literally, if I see sunlight, I'm up. You know, because I'm one of those, I sleep when you're dead. You know, sleep when you're dead type of people. But I definitely get that. Now us as guys, we're simple. You know, women, they'll shop online. They'll shop. Like, how often do you like go clothes shopping or just like shopping for yourself?
I'm super basic, man. Just if I'm running out of shirts, I'm going to get new ones.
Okay. Okay. And when you shop, like, do you shop online? Do you go shop in person?
It really depends. Like, if I'm just trying to get something basic at Walmart, but like if I want something particular, I'll go online. Like I know I like this Star Wars shirt that family got me, But
Nice.
you can get some stuff online if it's like more specific, something I like and want.
Okay.
I feel that.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I
So
got for now.
let me ask you this. So
Okay.
as passionate as we see that you are, you know, what is it mainly and specifically about you that you've learned about yourself that has kept you driven, that has kept you motivated, that has kept you going on a day-to-day basis? Like what has been that thing that has kept you going the way you are?
Um, I definitely there's a couple things. One is definitely just the fact that God did all He did to save us through Christ, His death on the cross, His resurrection. That He was willing to do that, whether I said yes or no to Him in the first place. That He was willing to lay down His life for me. So why should I not be willing to lay down my life for Him and for other people? And then also, I know I don't want to get caught up being lazy and see it being like either too lazy or workaholic. And so trying to find that healthy balance in the middle. So I don't want to be caught sleeping. I want to be on top of things because I know life is short, people matter, and all that stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Facts.
Okay. Now, outside of music, outside of passion, do you have any other, as I like to call them, hidden talents or little things that you do on the outside when you're not doing music or you're not passionate? Like, what are some of the things that you do in your spare time that brings you, you know, joy or excitement or you know that type of feel for you? Like, what are those things like for you on a daily basis?
I feel that for me, it's either like hanging out with friends, watching TV. Like I'm a big Star Wars fan. I just watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and that was fire. Being able
Okay.
to watch Darth Vader come back and be savage like he is, and them fighting. I don't know if you guys saw or are interested in Star Wars, but the last episode they put out was kind of crazy, having Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight. Obi-Wan slashed his mask off, half his mask off.
Okay.
So it was pretty serious.
True fan. That's a true fan right there.
Most definitely. Another thing that I'm gonna let Mr. Styles tap back in real quick. So when it comes to social media, you know, social media has truly been this worldwide global phenomenon. You know, the entire world is on social media. So when you look at the landscape of where you come from to where you are now, and you're putting yourself in this position to not only you know show who you are and show the versatility within yourself and within your music, but what is it about social media that has helped you and the people be more engaged to what you got going on?
I think social media has been able to, like, I've been able to connect with more people through social media. People that I never would have thought I'd be able to connect with, and even people that I've been able to connect with in person and keep connecting with them. I think it just the ability to just outreach, to be able to have such a big, especially with like Instagram and Instagram Reels, like, I know Instagram Reels are probably one of the biggest things to be able to reach out to the most people. Like most of the time, maybe like 1 or 200 people see my post, but if I put out a reel, that can go anywhere from 1,000 to 6,000, and that changes the demographic a lot depending on what I post about.
Okay, I feel that. I respect that. Mr. Styles, talk to him.
So you got fans out here then. You got some fans. How long you been doing this?
So pushing it like online, it's been a couple of years, but I've been rapping for a while now. So
Okay.
But if you had to pinpoint it though, like what would you say? How if you had to if you had to pinpoint that number, what would that number be if you had to pinpoint it?
like how many years?
Yeah.
It'd probably be the last 8 years or so.
8.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got any kids?
No, I
No
don't.
kids. Girlfriend?
Not yet. Looking.
Okay, so no baby mamas. Okay, got that out the way. So have you ever, like when you in the grocery store and going to self-checkout, have you ever like not scanned something? You know, like
Nah,
you scan and you be like, well, maybe I should and not scan and just put it in the bag
nah, I'll scan it.
every
If
single
I
time?
don't, if I don't want it, like there was one time I was buying grapes at Walmart and I was just like, this is too expensive. And I gave it to the person there. I was just like, take that wherever. But no, I'll scan it.
Speaking of grapes, have you ever walked through the grocery store and just like ate some of the fruit while you're walking through this grocery store?
That's funny you say that. My dad used to do that a lot, like with bananas and fruit and stuff like that. He's
Uh-huh.
like, I'm gonna.
You know, it's so funny, Mr. Styles, you mentioned that because I feel like a lot of people have done that, but they just not gonna publicly admit it.
Oh yeah.
Because eventually,
Oh
because
yeah.
eventually,
I grab a grape and wipe it off on my shirt, make sure I pop it, and then maybe a few more.
yeah,
I'm
because
buying them.
right, because like you said, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Is that because eventually, you know, you're gonna buy it anyway. So I mean, it's
Mm.
really
In most
no
cases, I'll say
no
that.
harm, no foul for real. Okay, I feel that. All right, so my next thing, man, is you know, when you're dealing with, we're dealing with the younger generation today, and all the up and coming artists of today. We got up and coming rappers and singers, so on and so
Mhm.
forth. What advice and knowledge and tips can you give to the ones that are tuned in, not just tuned in, but for the ones who want to take on this journey, that wants to go down this path and really put their stuff out there, put their sound, and their flow, and their style out there? Like, what are those things that they can do to make it out here?
I would say one thing is don't forsake getting a side job to be able to invest into your music, like whether it's a 9 to 5 or something like that, because with music, it costs money to promote it. It costs money to do studio time. It costs money to get equipment if you wanted to build your own studio. And so if you don't have a steady income coming in, it's going to be a while before your music starts popping because there's so many artists out there. It's just an overflow online. And so unless you're that like 0.1% that happens to like sparkle and just pop out and get signed or whatnot noticed, most people, they've been grinding for years before they get noticed. And they've been putting a lot of money and time into it. So I'd say no, be able to have some kind of income coming in to be able to invest in your music and also know why you're doing it. Like have a vision behind what you're doing musically. Um, like, are you doing it because you want to bless people? Are you doing it because you just want to make money? There's all kinds of different reasons people would be wanting to do music. So
Okay, okay, I resonate with that, Mr. Styles.
yeah.
Salt.
All right. So I got a couple of like scenarios going in my head, and one of them, you might be a little too churchy for this one of them though. So I'm gonna just do the rated PG-13 one and ask you. So you going to your homeboy's house to watch Star Wars, one of your favorite shows right there. You going to your people's house to watch Star Wars. You drink
No, I don't drink.
nothing at all.
I like water.
Okay, water. Okay, gotcha. So imagine you drink. You go to your people's house and you bring a 20-pack of beer. It's two other
Okay.
people there. There's two other people there. You go in, you sit down, chill. Everybody crack a beer open. You put the beers in the refrigerator. The rest of them in the refrigerator. About 20 minutes in, somebody calls you, family, church, calls you and says, Pastor, we need you to get down here. Somebody needs your help. You got to go. Because you only were there for 20 minutes and everybody only drank one beer, do you leave the 20-pack there or do you leave some beers there and take it with you?
I'd probably leave it there.
Interesting.
Okay.
You know what? That happened to me one time before, and I was wondering like how everyone thinks on that. I'm the type of person, I take a cake to a barbecue, nobody touch
Hmm.
it. I'm taking that cake back with me. Same
Yeah.
thing. If I bring a 20 case of beer and I'm only there for 15 minutes, and this actually happened to me, I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm sorry, I gotta go. And I grabbed it. They like, no, 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 no. When you come to somebody's house, you gotta leave it there. I said, in your world, in my world, I paid this amount of money for it, so I'm gonna take
Right.
you with me. But as a service, I'm gonna leave 4 or 5 here for y'all to drink, but I'm taking my
Yeah.
20-pack with me. So that's me. So I wanted to ask and see what your thoughts on that would be.
Okay. Okay. So Pastor Ryan, let me ask you this, man. So, and I feel like, in this life that we all are living, man, we all have our own destiny. We all have our own dreams and goals.
Mhm.
When initially and seriously start really taking your dreams, your goals, and everything that you're so passionate about so serious, like when did it really like truly hit you and be like, look, this is it, this is me, this is what I'm giving to the people, and not for just for the people, but for myself? Like, when did it really, really stick to you?
I'd say probably, that's a good question. I'd say probably really, really stuck in after my first semester of college. Like I had a moment where like that first semester of college, I was learning what a Christian was because I was brand new to it. Yet also doing things that most people would say is ungodly and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a moment where at a party I was at, I just remember God just speaking to me saying, you have to pick one, this or me. You can't do both.
Okay.
Like you can't flirt with this and flirt with me. Like you have to be about it or not about it.
Okay.
And I just remember saying, all right, it's all you got. Like I'm down.
Okay. Okay. Now, real quick, talk us a little bit about what it was like, you know, whenever you started to make music and you started to realize that these sounds that you're gonna, and even Mr. Styles said that your beats are crazy. So I want to tap into. So, what is your mindset when you're going for a beat or picking out a beat for a particular song that you're doing?
Yeah, like most of the time it'll be I'll come up with I'll have a thought, a topic for the song first, and then I'll look for a beat that kind of fits that mood that would fit what that topic would be. And then once I find that beat, then I would start writing to it. Because I know me, if I start writing lyrics before I find the beat, I'm going to be mad because it's not going to fit the beat the right way. I'm going to be stubborn about it. And but yeah, usually that's the process. I'll have an idea of what I want to rap about. Then I'll find the beat that fits that topic, fits the mood, and then I'll start writing to it.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up, Mr. Styles. Talk to him.
Oh, so I did have something down here. Like, and I already know. I kind of know. Now that I'm getting to know you, like I said, you're somebody that I would hang out with. One thing I'm noticing your consistency with being. If it comes to right or wrong, you're gonna most of the time pick right. You know, even if it's you should pick wrong for your family or something like that, you may still just pick right. You know, if the police
Yeah.
come knock on the door and your brother wanted, and they say, "Is your brother in there?" Some people will be like, "No, my brother in there." You be like, "Well, yeah, he is in here. You asked me," you know, like that. But I'm pretty sure, like, would you throw something out the window if you were driving, like paper or something, anything?
I don't usually. I usually just throw it in the passenger seat and I'll throw it out later.
Okay. So do you ever drive with your knee?
I might have tried it once or twice just to try it out, but
What does that mean? You tried it and it was like, no, this don't feel right about this.
gotta make sure no one's wrong first so no accident happens. Me being stupid.
Uh, so you're a good guy, man. You are a really good guy, and I like that. And you're a good songwriter too, man. I was thinking, like, I mean, I'm not sure what you're working on now. Like I said, when I hear your music, I hear, I know the audience that listens to your music, and like the type of shows that I go to, they may not resonate with your music, but you know, I talk about this style called Godcore, where you can, if you really true about it, and you can mix it, say it in a way where it can grab the other people. You know, other people. Is that a desire of yours to grab other audience? I mean, again, to you, you may have other audiences, but just again, me, I'm just listening, speaking from my own perspective, and I can see your audience, and I can see a good amount in that. But do you have a desire to grab other audience, and would you be willing to mix it up to grab other audiences?
Like, yeah, my goal is that I want my music to be for everybody. I don't want it to just be for Christians and stuff like that. Like, I want it to be for people in general because I want people not only to hear about Jesus, but like in some of my songs talking about mental health struggles, I want to be able to provide help for people who struggle with mental health.
Nice.
So, and there's different topics and different stuff that I know can relate to a lot of people, but I just want my music to help people at the end of the day.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this, man. So so now, with this industry being such a male dominated, saying industry, we have so many, women here who have truly been paving the way.
Hey, you kind of loud, bro.
But I want to get your thoughts on what the women are doing out here in this industry, putting on for themselves and really showcasing what they're about. Like, how do you feel about that?
Oh man, like I'm down for female artists, whether rappers or singers or whatnot. I think they're dope. And I think it's just the same thing with a male artist. If you're gonna do it well. Like it shouldn't matter what gender you are. Like just come in with the heat. Like and be true to yourself at the same time. Don't be trying to be anybody else. Try to be true to who you are with your music. So
Most definitely, most definitely. Mr. Styles?
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on, and this is fresh, did you hear about the new abortion thing, the law that's being passed? What's your thoughts on that? I mean, just personal thoughts I guess from your own your own perspective and a pastor's perspective, because your own perspective without even thinking from a Christian angle could be, I really don't care. I'm not out here knocking off chicks and stuff like that. None of my family is like that. But then, the pastor part of you could have some type of religious angle of it. Like, so either or, what's your thoughts on it?
yeah, like I know initially my thoughts is I hate how divided everybody is about it. I wish there was more unity on the topic. But another thing is like this doesn't really settle what's going on completely in America because it leaves it up to the states to decide what's going to happen. And my big thing, like, and there's all kinds of different ways you can go with this conversation, but I think just the unborn child is important and needs to be considered, regardless of the situation. I think their rights matter too. They just don't have a voice to speak out. And I feel like some people care too much about the unborn, and then once they're born, they ignore them. And then vice versa. They don't care about the unborn, but they care about the born. When in reality, I think we need to be caring about people, whether they're inside the womb or outside the womb. And then on top of that, I think that the conversation needs to go from should abortion happen to how do we help women who are in a difficult place with a child, regardless of how they got pregnant, how do we help them? And then also helping out with orphanages and adoption agencies, like actually making those better. Okay. And so to be able to help kids actually have a better chance at life, because I think everybody would want to have a chance at life, regardless if it's a struggle in life or not. So,
hey, I like that answer because, like I said, I look at it as like if you, me, you, and a group of people were in the room talking about it, and everybody was going around saying their opinions. In some cases, you're gonna hear some real ignorant opinions that's just based off of their raw feelings without even really putting any real thought into it. That was a well thought of answer, really.
Because I think a lot of people are going off of emotion right now with it rather than actually talking, and everybody's talking over each other's heads rather than actually talking to each other.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely, most definitely. All right, so let me ask you this, man. So when you were growing up, and I don't know if I touched on this, but when you were growing up, and again, you was discovering yourself, figuring out who you were, and things of that nature. Was there ever a time in your life where you said, yo, this is kind of tough, trying to choose between the two? Like, was that ever an issue for you trying to make a decision or choose, what path or route you wanted to take, or was that something that you was just like, okay, you know what, I know I'm gonna do it, and whatever the outcome is just gonna be the outcome?
Like, I'd say for me growing up, like, at least the way my parents raised me, they were open. They were just as long as I was happy. They didn't really care which direction I went, like as long as I was okay and safe and happy. And honestly, I was just living my life for myself. And I know I mentioned it before, like it was like after high school and before college, because I took a year off before going to college so I could get in-state tuition in North Carolina. But that year off, when I stumbled upon Christian rap and the Bible and Christianity, like God, you really changed my perspective on a lot of things, and he still does to this day. So before then, I was kind of just cruising, I'd say cruising through life. And now I'd say I have more of a passion for people and for God and for life. So.
Okay. Now, real quick before Mr. Styles taps back in, how important is it to you that the people that are that are listening to you, that are watching you, how important is it for them to be able to gain some type of wisdom or knowledge or some type of hope for them? Like, what is that important thing from you that you're putting out that you're wanting them to gain?
I'd say like the big thing is that even though we all have this thing called sin in our lives, that Jesus died for that. And that if we really want to be free of that, forgiven of that, and actually have a relationship with the Lord, we can have that through Jesus. And like nobody's higher than anybody else. We're all on the same level. There's nobody who's better than anybody. And true wisdom really comes from the Lord. It really comes from Him. And even all the good things in life, He's the creator. All good things come from Him. However, we know there's a lot of negativity and bad in the world, but that's a lot of because humanity kind of gave God the middle finger and said, we'll do life on our own. We don't need you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you got any siblings, like brothers, sisters, or anything like that?
Yeah, I got a younger brother who's 4 years younger than me. So he's 25. I'm 29.
25,
Okay.
29. Okay. All right. So just thinking about something, I always keep thinking from the angle of random stuff that'll come up with a group of people were in a room chilling, just talking. So this is real random right here. So say your brother was I'm just going wild. Your brother was putting his hands on his girlfriend.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Would you stop him from doing it, or would you, hey, let's see, if you at his house, hey, this your house, that's probably what y'all do.
Oh man. So you're saying if I was in his house when it happened?
Yes.
That'd be tough. I'd probably speak up about it. I'd probably say something.
But you don't know if you would physically stop him if he was over there like.
Like if he was wailing on her, I'd probably stop. I'd probably intervene and be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Mom,
Right.
they didn't raise you like this.
Right. That part. Real quick, I wanna ask a question to DJ Mizzy. DJ Mizzy, you got any questions for my man's up top?
No. I was telling you, we was talking earlier. I got a chance to. I actually got a chance to kick it with Mike face to face. At an event, probably about a month and a half ago. He's just a real cool, down to earth guy. And the production side of me, we getting ready to cook some stuff up. Trying to put together like an audio type of book type of thing for spoken word. So we got some things up the sleeve coming.
Okay. Mr. Styles, you, my guy.
Hey man, I'm loving the vibe here. I'm really loving the vibe here, and just getting to know another local artist out here on the scene. Now you're in Durham, right? North Carolina?
I'm down in Pembroke, which is by Lumberton, if you know Lumberton.
Okay, yeah, okay, gotcha. Do you ever come over up to the Triangle area?
There's a couple times, like Mizzy was saying, I was up there about a month or so ago at an event. So every once in a while, I'll find my way back up there. I know I got family in Cary, so.
Hey, well, if you ever come up this way, and and just let me know, man, because wherever you want to, if it's something going on that day, I'll definitely meet you there, and I'll make sure but before you walk out of there, half the place, if not all the place, know who you are, because I'm not sure if it's big down there in Pembroke, but it is a scene that we're connected to here. That people that are hungry, I spot it, and my goal is to do what I can for you, man. I really, really like your monotone, but so much packed in that monotone, so much wisdom packed into that, man. How would you say you were? You saw your brother 24, so you're 29?
I'm 29, yeah.
20, okay, 28, yeah. Yeah, to be 28 years old, man, you can hear your wisdom, man. I always say, to have a point of view, when you have a point of view, that's when people will really, when you talk, people will be quiet, or people won't be like, I wish they had finished talking so I can talk, or hear somebody else with some sense talk. and you got sense, so people will listen to you. And I really appreciate that about you. So if you ever come in the Triangle area, just hit Styles up, and Styles will make sure that you have a good time, man. Hey, but here's the thing, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Here's the thing, man. I'm gonna introduce you to some girls too, man. So if a girl come up to you and she like, I think you cute, I want to date you, would you be more so like, I'm focused on other stuff, or if she was cute and your type, would you talk to her?
I'd be open to talking to her.
Okay. You know, and I have to ask that, you know, because some people are so focused this way that they don't really even, you know, I'm not thinking about girls, you know, especially with porn and stuff out here. You can just watch some porn. You know, you ain't got to be thinking about no girls, so there ain't nothing wrong with it. You know, I do think God put us on this earth to, you know, to mate, you know, with someone, you know, like that. So I always encourage even the most busiest people to get out here and, you know, find you a good woman, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely. I definitely respect that. So let me ask you this, man. So how do you feel, you know, knowing the artistry level that you're at, you know, and you have people that listen to your music that are able to recite your lyrics, you know, sing the song back to you, you know what I'm saying, whenever you're maybe performing or things of that nature. What is that feeling on the inside to know that you put out something so dope, so phenomenal that people can really not only relate but be able to sing it back to you? How does that make you feel on the inside?
Man, like, it's kind of unreal because it's like, you really know my music. All the music you've actually taken the time to actually listen to my music, and it's humbling, to be honest. So
okay. So would you say that, and you know, and Mr. Styles touched on this earlier, when it comes to the people that you're trying to reach, the audience that you're trying to reach, what is usually the main, if there is a main, what is usually the main group of, what is usually the main audience that you usually attract when it comes to, you know, you and your sound? Like, what is that audience like for you?
honestly, like, I feel like I have a kind of a diverse audience, like people of all ages and backgrounds that enjoy my music, and it kind of is humbling to see it. Like, I was performing at last Saturday, I got to perform at a couple places, and one of them was a church, and it was full of different, like, older and younger people. And I've had, like, a lot of the younger people were digging it, and then I had a couple older people. They're like, I don't really like rap, but I like what you did. Where can I find your music at? I was just like, that's what's up.
Okay. Now, one other thing, again, let Mr. Styles tap back in. So when it comes to how you go about releasing your music and releasing your songs, do you usually just, whenever you're like, say for example, you're putting out a project and you know it's about to come out, do you go about setting up that project on one particular platform, or do you release it on all platforms for the world to hear, or do you give the people a while before you release it?
I try to put it on all platforms, but there's a process that I've kind of somewhat stuck to where, like, I'll have kind of like a mapped out 4 weeks before release of what I want to do and how I want to post things and advertise it. And so I kind of have it mapped out a little bit how I would want to release a single and stuff like that. Stuff I've picked up, like learning online from different musicians and artists, like trying to understand more of how to better release, so I'm not just putting it out there, but I can build some momentum of like some hype and some expectation behind it.
Okay. All right.
So,
Mr. Stop.
So on your album, I'm like saying, every feature that I heard was on point. One of the songs, Exhale. I really like that one. I listened to that one a couple of times.
I listened to that earlier. Boy.
Yeah, I played that a couple of times. But all your features, like, where did you find your features? Did they find you? Did you find them? How did that go?
So a lot of the female singers, actually, it's interesting. Their vocals came with the beats themselves. And so that was one of the reasons that I got a couple of those beats, was because of the vocal that came with it. I really liked the vocal, and I thought it was really catchy and really hype, and I was just like, I like this, I want to work with this. And then a couple of the other features are guys that I know, trying to do a little bit of music here and there with, and just want to shout out them real quick, Thomas and Alvarez. Just appreciate all the help that they've had in the process, because they also helped with a lot of recording and mixing and stuff like that too. So.
Really?
Okay.
Okay. And you game? Like, do you game like PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Switch?
Oh, game. I used to game a lot when I was younger, but not so much now. This is like I'm looking at it right now. I got a GameCube sitting in my apartment.
Okay. Are you serious? I didn't even know those things still existed.
I know, right? That was from my childhood. So I got like NBA Street on there, Mario Kart, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you put that in your past, so you don't game anymore?
Not so much anymore, no.
So what do you do like to kill time? You know, when you're not writing or whatever, like what do you do to kill time?
So different things like I like watching TV, like I mentioned the Star Wars stuff. I like hanging out with friends. Like working out again, which has been good. So
okay. Now let me get your thoughts on, you know, possibly maybe your favorite food. Do you have any favorite foods that you enjoy eating, or do you eat a lot? What is your regimen?
Food. I feel like coming from the Italian background I am, to not like food is a sin.
Okay.
I love all kinds of food. It could be anything like pizza, hamburgers, pasta. Like, honestly, I don't think there's much food that I don't like, to be honest.
Okay. I feel that.
I'm open to things. Like, even if it was like Indian food or like Middle Eastern food, I'm open to any kind of food.
Okay. So my next thing I want to ask you, how do people, if people want to collaborate with you, they want to work with you in some capacity, whether it be, you know, musically, whether it be, you know, spiritually, like how do they go about working with you in that regards?
I'd say first off, just to hit me up. And a lot of times, I think the best features are the ones that happen organically, that like you have a built-in connection with that person or people over time, and finally get to work together in the booth and work on lyrics and stuff like that. So it's not forced or anything like that.
Okay. Mr. Styles?
Hey man, I'm loving this, man. I'm really loving this. Loving getting to know you, man, and just hearing your background and hearing your story. So I see you got the New York hat on. You from Jersey. Yeah. You know, how long you say you've been down this way?
So I've been in North Carolina since about 2010. So it's been about 12 years I've been in North Carolina.
Well, how you like it down here?
It's been nice. Like, I'd say it's definitely a lot more chill compared to up north. Now, I'm not saying everywhere, but some places in North Carolina, the food options aren't as extravagant as up north.
Facts. Yeah, I'm with you there, man. You know, I'm from Detroit, and yeah, I love being down. I love North Carolina. You know, I always think of it as like, because I lived in South Carolina for a little bit. Came back to North Carolina, you know, Four Phones Entertainment. Shouts out to the DJ R&B, DJ JB, Chris Global, Four Phones all day, baby. But coming back here, when I realized I love North Carolina, because up north is too north, down south is too south. Here in North Carolina, you get a little bit of everything, so you're not getting too much of somebody like that. So that's why I messes with. See, I'm not cussing and stuff because you're a pastor. Look, I'm biting my tongue.
Man, it's all good.
Listen, look, I told Mike this was a raw and uncut show, so I had to tell him. I hope he's ready for it.
No, but let me tell you, I usually bleep my cuss words anyway. Like in some cases, sometimes I just don't give a. But like I'll half say them. Like I don't give a. Well, you know what I'm about to say, but I don't have to say it. So I'd rather do that than actually say the words any way. You know, so.
I feel you.
That part.
Something about me, I'm cool with people being, like, I'm okay with people being themselves. Like, I'm not offended if people cuss or people live their lives. Like, that's them. Like, I don't want people to, I'd rather actually get to know the person rather than trying to not saying you're doing this, but I've known people who, like, once they hear I'm a Christian or a pastor, like, oh gosh, I gotta act a certain.
Right.
No, just be yourself.
Right.
Right, man. Like I said, and again, I gotta kind of piggyback off Mr. Styles because he said it. He's been saying it. I'm definitely loving this conversation, man. The energy with you and the vibe with you is truly phenomenal and it's unmatched, man. So my last two things I want to get out the way, and I'm gonna let Mr. Styles take the thing back over. My last two things I want to tap into is knowing that you've come from where you've come from, and knowing that you have truly put in the work. What has been the greatest reward that you've learned about yourself that you know for a fact that if you are able to give it to someone else, it could possibly help them or benefit them in some kind of way? What has been that reward?
I think knowing that I'm valuable despite how successful or not successful I am. Like knowing that my value isn't found in my work. Me as a person, that I'm valuable, obviously, because the Lord made me. Um, but that I'm worthy of love and value and stuff like that, regardless of what work I put in. And I'm free to put in the work that I put in, and whether it succeeds or fails, it's just all a part of life. And so I don't have to demean myself or crap all over myself because I didn't do a good job in a certain way. That in reality, I am free to be myself. So.
Okay, I definitely respect that. I definitely respect that. And such a powerful answer, might I add. Whew, Mr. Styles, come back with
Yeah,
that one,
hey,
man.
I just got a little bit more for you, man, just to make sure I feel
Oh,
like
it's
when
all
we walk
good.
away, I know you. Like I can say, me and Pastor Mike, we friends. We spend an hour together, and I would spend another hour with that brother. And I would recommend you to my sister or something if she wasn't married already. So simple question: rag or soap? Meaning, when you in the shower, do you just use soap or do you use a rag?
Yeah, I just use soap.
Okay.
I'm with you there. You know what? I grew up a rag person, and then I switched over to soap only, but then I started mixing it up. Like
I feel.
I do start with the rag and make sure my skin is all nice and clean, and then once I rinsed off, then you go into just the soap, so that soap will give you that all day smell, like that,
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah, so I'm with you there, man. But I think a lot of people probably sleep on the soap and think the rag is the only way to go. But you coach yourself, because smelling good is so important. Do you value smelling good?
I'd like to smell good. I don't want to smell like trash. So.
Well, it's like I love smelling. Like I love when somebody say, "Damn, you smell good."
Mm-hmm.
It's something. I mean, that's
It's a
something.
nice compliment.
Not many things are important to me, but that's one of the things that's important to me. There is
Mm-hmm.
that. So I didn't want to say that, but something that I was thinking about, man. Again, in thinking about, I mean, I want to see you be successful. Success is measured on different levels, but we're
Yeah.
not doing this music and this entertainment stuff to just be here when we can be there. So
Yeah.
an idea that I see that I want to plant. The Bible is, and I don't know how your storytelling is, but I I wrote down here, overall good writer. And this was a couple hours ago when I wrote that down because I wanted to make sure I told you verbally, looked you in your
Mm.
eyes, and tell you that you're a good writer, man. And a
Appreciate
good
it.
writer, people adjust in time, to the times, so like that. And with the Bible having so many stories, you know, and thinking from that, you got this audience, how you can grab this audience without changing too much of who you are. People love a good story, man. If you can
Mm-hmm.
find a way to pull some of the stories out of the Bible and put them in your own words, even put a whole album together, you already
Definitely.
gonna get everybody over here in your world. But just off the stories alone, you ain't gotta be cussing. But off the stories alone, people want to hear a good story flow. You probably can grab
Mm-hmm.
some other people. So just a seed I want to plant into you, my brother, and I hope it grows into something. And in like 2 years, I'm like, I hear Pastor Mike's new album, Book of the Bible, books 5 through 6.
Right.
Most definitely, most definitely. I love it. I absolutely love it. Man, we are, our time is winding down, but I gotta ask one final question, man. And before I ask that question, once again, I gotta say I truly appreciate everything that you're doing. I support everything that you got going on. I'm sure for myself, Styles, DJ Mizzy, we all can appreciate your work ethic, what you've been got going on, what you've been giving to the culture, man. Definitely don't stop, keep grinding. But my last thing that I want to ask, because time is winding down, what is next for Pastor Mike? That's the $1 million question. What's next for you?
So I got planned. I got a couple singles that I got planned to release this year. I got one that I plan on releasing in July, and so that one's going to be called Big Bless. So I hope people enjoy that. Other than that, I got a couple other songs that I'm planning on. When do I want to drop them, and when do I not want to drop them? So, yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, Pastor Mike, it has truly been an incredible conversation, a dope conversation. Again, I want to say thank you for tapping in. Thank you for, sharing your journey and your stories with us. We definitely appreciate it. I know I learned a lot. I'm sure both Mr. Styles, DJ Mizzy, we all have learned a lot from you. Again, don't be a stranger. You're always welcome here to the platform. And like Mr. Styles said, if you're anything, man, listen, phone call away, I'm a click away. Reach out to me. We'll make sure we get it done. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, in my time, I am the one and true and living legend, Hunter J23 of Independent Scene Podcast. Special thanks to my guest, Mike, Pastor Mike, what I am, for tapping in with us. Special thanks to my guy, my name,
Styles in the hood,
Mr. Styles, and also none other. We want to thank my guy, DJ Mizzy, for tapping in with us for the one time. We appreciate you, DJ Mizzy. We definitely got tapping. We definitely tapping in. We will be tapping in again tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Me and DJ Mizzy got something planned for y'all, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. But this has been my time. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and we'll see you guys next time on another edition Independent Scene Podcast. We out, y'all.
Be safe out there, everybody. 4 Phones Entertainment.
All right, y'all.